Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
The 14th opening day in Diamondbacks history, and Diamondbacks special executive to the president of the Diamondbacks, Roland Heeman, headed to the Hall of Fame this summer. What a way to start things. The All-Star Game, the Midsummer Classic in this gorgeous ballpark. But first, the Cincinnati Reds come to town for a home opener, number 14 in franchise history. And they're a really solid team, folks. Hi there. It's good to be back with all of you. Thanks for inviting us into your home. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and for the first time this year, welcome home, welcome back to the ballpark. The Reds are good. The Reds can field, the Reds can pitch, and the Reds can hit more than anything. A very dangerous and potent offense.
They are a very potent mix of speed and power. Joey Votto, the MVP of the National League last year, he's the guy that anchors the middle of this order. Dusty Baker is loaded with his Red squad this year, Darren.
Ian Kennedy was a little bit wild around the strike zone against Colorado in the opener. He may face those same jitters. He's pitching in another opener.
Yeah, he's got back-to-back openers, one in Colorado now, the one you really want to do, the home opener. So Ian Kennedy, he pieced it together in Colorado. I expect him to be better here this evening.
Certainly glad to have you with us tonight. It is so good to be back home. This is a three-team homestand. It certainly is a challenge. It's Cincinnati, it's St. Louis, it's San Francisco. The boys are back in their ballpark. And don't be confused. This isn't chilly Colorado or chilly Chicago. The ball will be flying the entire series. Boys, get ready in the bleachers. Presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino, and you can win $2,000 to $20,000 right away. Jack in the Box right now. Get the All-American Jack Combo with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. You want to find out what kind of team you have? Invite the National League Central Division champions to town. It's the Cincinnati Reds going toe-to-toe with Kirk Gibson and his Arizona Diamondbacks. It's the home opener. Thanks for hanging out with us. Get your weekend started off right. Gracie and I with the call next. Ready to go to work. Ian Kennedy. Boy, you love that look onto the field. Kennedy taking the mound. He started the opening game in Denver, Colorado. And then, of course, as Dusty Baker goes to work and looks on from the dugout. Fourth season, a successful manager at so many stops along the way. This club fits him, and he fits this club. Let's take a look at Dusty's starting lineup as Ian goes to work on opening day. The right-hander here at Chase Field. And it's a lineup that can bop the baseball all over the ballpark from top to bottom, including Drew Stubbs, who had 22 homers last year. Brandon Phillips, MVP, Joey Votto. Scott Rowland already has 8 RBIs. Breakout year expected for Jay Bruce. Johnny Gomes, Ryan Hannigan. Supposed to be a catch-and-throw guy, but he can hit. And Paul Yanish, Travis Wood, and Ian Kennedy ready to roll. The 14th opening day at home in Diamondbacks history is underway. Strike one to Drew Stubbs. Kennedy in that outing on April 1st went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. Diamondbacks won it 7-6, though he received a no decision. 26-year-old right-hander, Southern California born and raised, went to USC, was originally a Yankee as a pro. Change up, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Change up floated right back to the middle of the plate. Stubbs was out in front of it. This is a big man, Drew Stubbs, that can fly. Great speed.
And for a leadoff hitter, don't make a mistake. The curveball is into the dirt. You've seen it all now. There's a fastball, there's a changeup, there's a curveball from the right arm of Kennedy. Now he throws an occasional slider. It was more than occasionally in Denver, but his breaking ball wasn't doing what he wanted to, that's why. Born in December of 1984, the changeup locked him up over the inside corner. Drew Stubbs goes down. That always isn't the intent to get a looking over the inside corner with a changeup, but he'll take it.
Yeah, I think the change of speed just locked up and froze Drew Stubbs right to the inside corner. It goes. Teddy Barrett, veteran umpire behind the plate, rings it right up.
Brandon Phillips taking a moment to get ready. You can see Ian's ready to go. He's gotten his sign. Teddy Barrett, Brian Runge is at first. Marvin Hudson is at second. Tim McClelland is at third. First pitch hack and Brandon Phillips up and into the seats.
You will see a lot of that from these Cincinnati Reds. These guys swing hard. They are loaded with power, speed, and they're also fabulous defensively.
There's that little slider. It's a bit of a cut fastball.
Almost like a cutter, isn't it?
Again, we rarely, if ever, saw it last year. 5 out of every 100 pitches on average. Do a bunch of them in that last outing. That one stayed high, ducked underneath it. 2-1 the count to Phillips. You saw the numbers already. He's got 11 hits this year. He's got 4 RBIs.
My gosh.
You can see what he is doing. He has scored 9 runs this season. You could feel it coming. Change up, 2-2 the count.
Well, Brandon Phillips had laid off a couple of good sliders to get to a quote-unquote fastball count, but Ian Kennedy on 2-1 pulled the string on him beautifully.
The reigning most valuable player waits on deck in Joey Votto. There's a changeup, runs in on his hands, and he can fly, so you're fortunate. Defensively, as hot as Willie Bloomquist is, you've got to put him somewhere. Well, that somewhere's left. He started there 36 times in his career. Mora, Stephen Drew is back at short, abdominal strain in the rearview mirror. Nady is at first. Miguel Montero started every game so far this year for the Diamondbacks.
Why wouldn't he? Swinging the bat great. They've had a couple of off days, one because of snow and one scheduled yesterday. He's plenty fresh.
You saw Bloomquist, who was at short, Drew, who is now at short, and Miggy, who plays every day. Curveball popped up and into the seats.
Nice play by a fan downstairs.
Already?
Yeah, it's a very nice play. He gave it to his young son.
Yeah, it's good to be home. On 2-2. High fly into the right center field gap. Justin Upton picks it up. Welcome back home. Took him a second in his own ballpark. No surprise. Different looks. Spring training on the road. Now back home. And so Upton puts away Phillips. A couple of outs now in front of Joey Votto. Boy, where do we start? I guess I can point out the numbers, but they have spoken for themselves the last couple of seasons. He's doing it again this year. 9 hits, hitting .391. He's walked 5 times, so his on-base percentage is over .480, and he's slugging over .600 to start the season.
Now, when you talk about the best players in the game, 2 guys that are always in the conversation are this man, who just taps it to second, and Albert Pujols. How about Ian Kennedy right through this dangerous 1-2-3 order? Go grab the bats and let's see what happens here, Diamondbacks.
Justin Upton getting ready to clock in and go to work on the offensive side of the baseball. Bloomquist to lead it off. An Arizona State University Sun Devil in his collegiate days out of Washington is where he played as a prep. Let's take a look at Willie's place in the starting lineup. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Behind the top three, Chris Young. Stephen Drew, as his manager said, he's 5 games behind his teammates. He's got some work to do. Xavier Nady would love to see him get going. Miguel Montero's the best hitting Diamondback this season, continuing to work on his defense. And Melvin Mora battled the flu on the recent road trip. Travis Wood, the 24-year-old left-hander, as we walk you in from the on-deck circle. Wood out of Little Rock, Arkansas, where he spends his wintertime working out with Cliff Lee. The Lincoln numbers, visiting pitching numbers, 7 innings, 1 run allowed in his first outing of the year, and he was fabulous against Milwaukee. Want to know the count to Willie Bloomquist.
Not the most overpowering left-hander, but a guy that will pile up some strikeouts. 24-year-old, got a bright future.
In at third is Gold Glover Scott Rowland, as that one dives in there for a strike. Well, he was known, Wood, as a pure fastball pitcher coming out of high school. That frame at about 6 feet was consistently in the mid-90s as he was drafted out of high school, Bryan High School in Arkansas. And he's grown his arsenal quite a bit. There's that one to the right side. There he is again, Willie Bloomquist. He is on the move, picking him up, putting him down, heading into second. Welcome back to the place where you dominated as a collegiate, Willie. Just his second ever game at Chase Field. Second ever. He comes home now as a Diamondback, though.
Well, he just rifles a cut fastball from Travis Wood right over the top of the leaping Brandon Phillips, and into the gap it goes. So a good start, and just kind of brought home what he had on the road, and that was a bunch of rockets right back up the box.
So now Kelly Johnson. Bloomquist has hit in every single game this season. Kelly drops down a bunt. Picked up. Beautiful bunt. Sacrifice bunt. Little bit of little ball. Diamondbacks trying to strike first. Kelly, who comes in hitting 174, 4 of 23, pitches in for manager Kirk Gibson.
Just a gorgeous bunt from a guy you're not really expecting that from. Good fundamental baseball right out of the gate. And a dugout full of high fives for soft bunting Kelly Johnson.
That's fine right now, isn't it?
Doggone right.
A team that over the last couple of years has been at the bottom of the National League in bunt hits, sacrifice bunts. A different look, as that is strike one to Justin Upton.
Right side of the Reds infield is in. The left side of the Reds infield is all the way back.
Why?
I would imagine because if Justin hits it to the right side, it's usually not nearly as firm as if he pulls it.
He hits it to the right side. It's dying in right center field. The Arizona Diamondbacks lead it 1-0. Willie Bloomquist scores his 5th run of the year, and Upton, who had been quieted in Chicago, RBI number 4. Nice to hear a home crowd.
Nice to see. Leadoff double, a beautiful bump by Kelly Johnson, and then a nice job of taking care of your teammate. Nice job of working as a lineup. Guy bunts him over for you, you take care of him. That's exactly what he did. He drives in that run, and now speed on the base paths. And it's kind of interesting when there's speed on the base paths against Travis Wood, wouldn't you say, Darren?
It's almost a non-factor, really. You know Eric Young wants his club stealing a lot of bases as he just eases it over. That's not the A move. Travis Wood is making his 19th Major League start, dating back to being called up last year. There has been nary a stolen base attempt against him.
Not caught stealings. Just nobody's tried him.
None. And you would think, well, he's got, what, 10, 12 pickoffs? As that one is fouled off. He's got 1 pickoff. Just 1. Dusty Baker praises his athleticism. Everyone does. Heck, we talk with a longtime voice of the Diamondbacks, Tom Brenneman, who's here in town. They all talk about the same thing. He is a ball player, a complete baseball player. Hitter, pitcher, fielder, does it all.
They say he is at the top of the team in speed. I guess he can fly. They say Drew Stubbs, their leadoff hitter and center fielder, is the fastest player on the team. Second fastest? No, not Brandon Phillips. Travis Wood.
which means you have the speed, you have the athleticism, and the balance, and that's how you keep those runners close. We will continue to watch it. It is going to be fun to keep an eye on because Arizona leads the majors so far in only 1 week of play in stolen bases as a team. Leads the majors.
Good.
Surprised him.
Fastball.
That almost looked like he surprised him with that one.
A lot of times, Chris Young and a lot of these Diamondback hitters, they get caught looking off speed because, well, they see a lot of off speed. And I think that one just locked him up. Good fastball in the inside corner.
Young, 27 years old, formerly a pick of the Chicago White Sox back in 2001 out of Houston, Texas. Bounds that one out to third. Scott Rowland shoots it on across for the second out. Upton moves up the second. Rowland, who last year was the Gold Glover at his position at third base for the 8th time in his career.
One of the best ever at the hot corner. A lot of folks out here remember how great Matt Williams was at third base. And this guy's right there with Matty. But a productive out. Putting the ball in play, moves Justin Upton to second base. Now he can score on a base hit. It'd be nice, nice way to welcome back Stephen Drew.
Good to have Stephen back. Drew missing that time, as we mentioned, in the first week of the season with an abdominal strain as he takes a fastball over the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Stephen in the last 3 years has 35 triples. As a matter of fact, since the 08 season, he and Hanley Ramirez have the same extra base hit total of 189 to lead all National League shortstops. Better said, to lead all shortstops in Major League Baseball. Just off the plate. And right away, he's got a challenge. It's not just you're in the lineup, but you're in the lineup lefty on lefty.
That's all right. He can handle lefties.
Hangs in there well enough. Breaking ball dives down and away.
And that's how you handle lefties right there, folks. If you can lay off those breaking balls down and away, a lot of left-handers struggle with the slider from left-handed pitchers. If you can lay off of it, take it for a ball two. Now you put Wood or any other left-handed pitcher right back in a fastball count. Let's see if he gets the fastball here.
You know, we always talk about Stephen's brother J.D. Drew, the longtime big leaguer. Don't forget he had another brother, Tim, who pitched in the Indians organization. Was a first-round pick as well. A trio of brothers first-round picks.
Got the fastball, but it was really well executed on the outside corner.
Again, Wood just 24 years old. He was Cincinnati's #2 pick in 2005. So you're picked second. You maybe have some time to negotiate. He was drafted on June 7th. 9 days later, he had signed. 9 days later.
Those are refreshing.
Stephen down the line, hugging that line, into the corner it goes. Upton come on down. Stephen Drew, his first at bat as a starter. He had one pinch hit attempt. Is a double. Yet another extra base hit. It's he and Hanley Ramirez and nobody else in all of the big leagues the last 3 years. 2-0.
Well, shortstop is kind of a hot spot for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Whoever you put out there just tends to smack the baseball around. Really pretty job right here. Fastball down, doesn't try to do too much with it, just swats it the other way. Stays inside the line by a couple feet, and Upton can cruise home. What a great start here for the home opener.
Out of Salinas, California, Xavier Nady. Big swing, fouls that one off.
Boy, he had a good pitch to hit, too. Hannigan's going to go out and talk with his left-hander and say, hey, man, you need to start getting that ball to my mitt. I'm sitting on the inside corner, and you're throwing it to the middle of the plate. That's going to get you hit and hit hard.
And he was, as we mentioned earlier, beyond sharp for Dusty Baker in his first start against Milwaukee. You win 1-0, you've done something, and he won 1-0 over the Brewers. 7 innings, didn't walk a soul, gave up just 4 hits. He was fabulous.
Once again, Ryan Hannigan sitting probably 6 inches inside. And that's what a catcher's supposed to do. If your pitcher's having trouble getting that ball to the inside corner, sit a little farther in. And he still went almost to the outside corner. So he's not getting that pitch where he wants to the right-handed hitter right now.
Wood, in a moment of self-coaching, I caught out of the corner of my eye, told himself, you're flying open with that lead shoulder.
Tough call there. Looked like it might have been a bit inside. Looked like a little cut fastball.
He made him cut it.
Yeah.
That's the other part of the story, Gracie. He made him, and folks, he made him cut it in there. That's Hannigan making him get it in there. So right away, Travis Wood and his catcher trying to get back on track. Arizona leads it 2-0. 80 Padres #2 pick in 2000 out of Cal Berkeley. Back in there, big swing. Didn't get it all the way in. Nady goes down on strikes. Well, there were extra base hits, to be specific, 2 of those, but there was a little bit of little ball. Kelly Johnson, usually hard-hitting Kelly Johnson, drops down a beautiful bunt. And then his mate is there to pick him up. It's been a while. It's been since opening day that Justin has driven in a run. That changed. For a while anyway, as that one misses in. 1-0 the count from Ian Kennedy to Scott Rowland, and suddenly, as the clouds peek in through the open roof, Kennedy and his Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. As Rowland flips that one up and into the seats. Well, you look down the starting lineup. You folks at home have already seen it, and the first thing that Mark Grace turned to me and said was 8 RBIs already for Rowland.
Already. He even had the game off yesterday, but he got up late and hit a pitch homer to tie up the ball game. Didn't get the call there on the outside corner to Ian Kennedy. But these Reds, they keep coming at you. Ian Kennedy has to just continually battle. Good pitch there.
Well, on this opening day, and with Scott Rowland still healthy and playing on, it's almost time to start having that discussion that we have about successful long-term ball players. As that one is into the dirt, a changeup. And the discussion is, of course, about will there someday be a push to put this man in Cooperstown? A few things to throw at you. 8 times a Gold Glover, 305 homers, more than 1,200 RBIs, and if things go right, shot into left field. That one is high off the wall, played very, very well by Willie Bloomquist. It's a single. I was about to tell you he's approaching 500 doubles at 487. He will hold tight at that number.
Well, Rowland just smokes a fastball middle in. What a great play again by Bloomquist. One hop, and Rowland runs well, folks. It's not like he's a plow horse out there. He runs very well. Bloomquist just made a terrific play, keeping the double play in order.
Here's Jay Bruce. I mean, it's safe to say this is a guy like our Diamondbacks Kelly Johnson, as you fans call him, hard-hitting Kelly Johnson. A few in Cincinnati have called this young man hard-hitting Jay Bruce.
I can imagine.
And said clearly, that's the kind of guy we need. Snuck it right by him.
Yeah, back-to-back fastballs, knee high to jump ahead 0-2.
But for Bruce, it has to be playing every day. We say that about Justin Upton. He finally reached 148 games last year, had a nice year. Prior to that, 101 games, 108 games. They want him out there every day, too. There's that curveball. And what you love about the curveball with the 12-6 break looking at the clock is that it plays against lefties and righties. It doesn't discriminate. And this is why.
This is why. Starts belt high, and then it is gone. You get Jay Bruce to commit, and right over the top of it he goes. That's a beautiful 0-2 curveball. Not going to do anything with that one.
Pretty well known around baseball as Johnny Gomes digs in. The Chase Field is a hitter's haven. We could give you all the numbers, but trust us, it's a hitter's haven. The ball flies here.
Yeah, Randy Johnson, Kirk Schilling, Brandon Webb, they didn't pitch very well here.
No, they all pitched very well, despite the fact that it's a hitter's haven.
It's a pitcher's ballpark.
Some great pitchers pitched in this ballpark. Anyway, disregard what he was saying. It's certainly a hitter's haven.
Yeah, Dan Herron didn't have much success here either.
Yeah, he went against the spread. You're exactly right. 1-1 the count.
No, it is. The numbers don't lie in that instance. I just don't like. Well,
excuses?
Yeah.
Well, here's where I was going with that. Hang on. Hold your thought for a second.
Okay.
This is a guy that won't use it as an excuse. He pitched
Good.
very well here. He was better here than on the road.
Good.
Last year.
Attaboy, Ian.
Got enough out of you. Swing and a miss. Change of pace. He pulled it, but that's all right.
Once again, a 2-1 count, a fastball count, and a very aggressive hitter in Johnny Gomes. Pulled the string on him with that beautiful changeup, and way out in front of it was Gomes.
2-2, one away, 2-0 the score. And after that changeup away, he runs a fastball in.
Did a slide step as well. Kind of quick pitched him.
Slide step, to educate our fans, means what?
A slide step is when you're after you've come set, you just go quickly to the plate. You don't raise your leg. Your front leg just goes directly to the plate. You don't bring it up first and then go to the plate.
So no high leg kick.
Exactly.
Which means that right arm's got to get up top quick. Kirk Gibson emphasizing in spring training not only the running game, and we've seen stolen bases, but he wants his pitchers to control the running game. Gibby knows, and Charles Nagy, pitching coach, they both know that you can't totally change who you are as a pitcher, though. Nice job, Miguel Montero. Here talking about Miguel as a couple from the coaching office, manager's office look on. Needing off days, and Miggy has made it clear to his manager that I've had off days. I've had a snow out. I've had a team off day. I've had off days. Some things he knows he needs to work on. We've talked about it. Defensively, he's still growing. He might never get totally where he could be or should be, but he's trying, as Henry Blanco continues to watch. But it's hard to work on those things when you're just playing sporadically. Change up is high.
Called it a ball up. Oh, folks, the 2011 MLB All-Star Game is July 12th at Chase Field. Guarantee your spot at the Home Run Derby, the XM Futures Game, the All-Star Fan Fest, and the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. To guarantee the best All-Star seats, call 602-462-4788 or visit dbacks.com/ASG.
I have to admit, that's a pretty good way to start the season at home. That was a solid read.
Well, thank you. Means a lot.
Right down the middle to Ryan Hannigan. As we mentioned, Hannigan out of a smaller college, Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida, known as a catch and throw guy, but you can see he's having no problem with the bat this year. You can go back to the start of last season. He's a .310 hitter in the 73 games in which he has played.
And he does not get cheated. Ryan Hannigan will let it fly.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's already homered a couple times.
When I think about that, I can't help but have some drifting thoughts of Josh Weitzel, former Diamondback slugger.
Man, did he take a big rip at it.
1-1 the count. I bet you those guys remember Josh. They're coexisting just fine.
Hard to forget
Reds
that.
hat.
Hard to forget those big rips.
The Diamondbacks hat. Everyone's getting along just fine. 1-1 the count. Broke his bat. Roller. Could be two. Should be two. It is.
I don't try to do too much. You know, with righties, I probably think about hit a homer. On lefty, I just try to hit a single. So that's different. You know, I swing a little easier, under control, and it gives you better results sometimes. With the lefty, they throw pretty much crossfire outside corner for you. You just try to let the ball travel and hit it the other way.
Our Geico quote, Miguel Montero tied with Nick Hundley amongst major league catchers for the lead in total bases with 16. So a fine start to the season for Miguel as that fastball runs up and in.
Looks like right there he was trying to hit a homer.
It did, and it looked like Wood knew exactly where he wanted to throw that pitch. We've seen pitchers pitch him in and dare him to take that swing. See if he takes this one the other way. Boy,
gorgeous breaking ball.
A lockup breaking ball. Miguel has been on base 11 times already. He has hit in all 5 games. And on 0-2, right at the kneecap, solid no ball 2-strike pitch to Montero. One and two the count. Miggy uses left center field and he drives it. Toward the gap it goes. That's exactly what he just told us coming back from commercial break. And he did that, Gracie and folks, with 2 strikes.
That's a great approach. We've talked about it before, Darren. He lets the ball travel, and he says he's trying to hit a single. Well, he just lets it travel. It's down in the zone where he likes it, and he drives it past Johnny Gomes in left field. Just a beautiful piece of hitting right there. Watch how far he lets this ball travel. Hits it deep in his stance off his back leg. Reminds me a lot of Andrew Jones, except just the left-handed version of it, but well done.
So he is in scoring position for Melvin Mora. 1-0 the count to Melvin. So now for Montero, he has hit in every single game. Not only has he started every single game, but he has hit in all 6 games. Melvin was 1 for 4, had the start against the Chicago Cubs on Wednesday. Into the catcher's mitt that one goes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mora also had the start on opening day. 39 years old. Melvin out of Agua Negra in Venezuela. Began in the big leagues with the Mets, then the Orioles for a long time. He was able to walk taller into their record books. He played so successfully there. As that one is up and away. And then Colorado last year. But I think for the casual fan, Mora is known as an Oriole.
Yeah.
I mean, nearly 1,300 games as an Oriole. Hit 280. An All-Star as an Oriole twice. He'll have another shot at that one.
Got a pitch up in the zone. It looks like right now Melvin's trying so hard to get that ball to the right side and move Miguel Montero up to third base that he's gotten a couple of real good fastballs to hit that maybe he could drive in the gap instead of just squirt it over to the right side.
Defensively, the best defense in baseball plays straight up against Mora. And that's exactly what happened. Boy, you were on to something there. And it was evident again in that last approach. Let's quickly take a look at the defense. Again, this is the best defense to start the year in all of baseball. They have committed just 1 error. Roland, Giannis, Phillips, and Votto on the infield. Hannigan, a fine defender behind home plate. You pick a spot, and they get it done. Kennedy gets it done. A beautiful bunt has Roland shuffling a little bit in between. And Ian Kennedy moves the runner up. A chance for Willie Bloomquist with 2 outs, runner on third, or better said, even a pitch in the dirt to the backstop. Another run.
Nice bunt. He makes the third baseman field it. And when you can do that, that usually means you're going to have a successful sacrifice. And that's the case right there. But it's going to take a 2-out hit from Willie Bloomquist. He's done a pretty good job of that so far early in the season.
And it really, for Bloomquist, as we see Kennedy receive some congratulations, started last August. He started really gaining some confidence offensively. Since mid-August of last year, you can go back that much, he has hit .364. As that one, a late call of a strike. So much so, he got so hot that in the middle of September, when he could not be added to a playoff roster, the Reds traded for him.
Played well for him.
Played very well. For the same reason the Diamondbacks signed him, he could play anywhere. 0-2 the count.
Good fastball right in on his hands there to jump ahead 0-2.
Just joining us, Justin Upton singled in a run back in the first inning. Stephen Drew doubled home Justin Upton. It was Upton's first RBI since opening day when he drove in 3.
Always working on your hitting, aren't you? Just missed. 93 he got to that one, did Travis Wood.
Knows his fastball 6 out of every 10 pitches, and it averages about 90. This is a young man that actually threw much harder in high school his senior year. Low again. Same pitch twice in a row.
You think he's calling those low or in?
You tell me.
I think he's calling them in. They look like they're the right height. They just must be just barely inside.
Teddy Barrett behind the plate. 2-2 the count. Runner at third. It kicks away. That's why a successful sacrifice is so important. Team baseball on several occasions tonight.
Yeah, right now they are playing perfect fundamental offense. And by being able to lay off a couple of close pitches inside, now he spikes a changeup right into the ground. Hannigan can't come up with it. And a freebie with 2 strikes and 2 outs for the Diamondbacks. That's huge. Ian Kennedy, proud of himself, and he should be.
Willie again goes to right field. This one hangs up, the same approach we've seen all year long. Somehow they retire him. The Diamondbacks add another run. Fundamentals, all that stuff on the backfield at Salt River. Kind of paying off, isn't it, Gibby?
And welcome back to opening night at Chase Field. The D-backs leading the Reds by the score of 3-0. Brad Steinke joined by Roland Heeman, who is the special assistant to D-backs president Derek Hall. And a great thrill tonight throwing out the first pitch. But before we talk to that, I want to talk about your impressions of this year's team. They seem to be doing the little things a little bit more often this year.
Yeah, they're playing aggressive baseball, and then they're executing better than they have been last season. As an example, Kennedy put down a nice sacrifice bunt. They're 2 men out, man goes to third, but he scores on a wild pitch. So you do little things like that, and you capitalize. That's a very good sign.
Later this summer, you'll be honored, inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, the second ever recipient of the Buck O'Neill Award. What does that mean? When you found out you were going to be in the Hall of Fame, what emotions went through your mind?
Well, I was completely overwhelmed. You recollect in your own mind the various people that have helped you in the game, players, managers, coaches, scouts, down the line, and you wouldn't be getting an award like that without so many people playing a role to help you get there.
And the first pitch, that's a little pressure. I saw you before you warmed up, and that's a little nerve-wracking to get out there and throw that out there.
I must admit I had the opening day jitters. I threw a couple of days ago a little too much. Yesterday,
a little side session, huh?
That's right. And then I had nothing yesterday, very little today, but I get the ball at least close to where Blanco could dig it out of the dirt.
You were with the D-backs from '96 to 2000, really helping to lay the groundwork for that 01 World Series championship team, which will honor the 10-year anniversary later this year. What are your recollections of the early days of the Arizona D-backs franchise?
Oh, it was a thrill to be part of it. Jerry Colangelo having hired me, and then to be with Buck Showalter, Joe Garagiola Jr., the general manager, and a fine group of baseball people that they united, and the hard work that was put in, and then the second year of the season to win 100 games, and the fourth year to win a world championship. That was beyond belief almost.
Over 60 years as a baseball executive with all kinds of great teams, the Milwaukee Braves back in the day, and the Orioles and the White Sox and the D-backs, and on and on and on. What are some of your fonder memories of a lifetime spent in this great game?
Well, the people that you get to know and the people working together in any organization that succeeds, they have to have, I always often say, they talk about clubhouse chemistry. You must have front office chemistry in unison between the playing ranks and as well as upstairs. And those are the great memories that I have of seeing how winning ball clubs come about because of that unison.
Could you imagine doing anything else other than baseball?
No, really, people ask me sometimes, how come you still hang around?
Close play over at first base. The runner is safe. And finally, again, congratulations and best of luck. Enjoy your induction ceremony this July back in Cooperstown. Well earned.
Oh, thank you, Brad. I look forward to that day, and my family does, and many friends. Thank you.
Roland, one of the great guys in all of baseball. Gentlemen, back up top to you.
The award to honor an individual whose efforts have broadened the game's appeal, whose character, integrity, and dignity comparable to the late Buck O'Neil, and that's the speed you talked about with Drew Stubbs. Power and speed in one package.
Yeah, that's one that Ian Kennedy could possibly regret. Ian Kennedy's fast enough. He should be able to run 60 feet faster than Drew Stubbs can run 90 feet.
By the way, the diving stop by Nady saved a run, so a fine play by Nady.
Great play by Nady.
And here come these Reds.
Hey!
It's not really worth tempting fate and giving them another opportunity. That's the type of ball club they are. Relentless offensively. Kennedy last year with runners in scoring position saw opponents hit .224 against him. Handled himself very well in high leverage situations. That's one of the reasons, the ability to throw a changeup.
On a slide step, once again, didn't do the high leg kick. That time, a slide step to the changeup. The previous time, he showed the Reds that I'll slide step to a fastball. Great pitch.
Cincinnati has opened the year 5-1. It's their best start since 1990. When they opened the year 9-0, and by the way, they won a world championship. Another changeup, 0-2. Kennedy in December of 2009 involved in that somewhat complex, but it made sense for Arizona deal that involved New York, the Yankees, the Detroit Tigers, and these Diamondbacks. He came from the Yankees organization, did Ian Kennedy? And this was a young pitcher in the minor leagues that dominated along the way. In his 12 starts in the big leagues with New York, though, he won just once with an ERA over 6. It's a tough place to develop. Changeup is low.
Well, that's the thing. You're not allowed to struggle. You're not allowed to grow at the major league level when you're a New York Yankee. They expect success right out of the gate, and they don't have time to let you develop.
Juan Miranda understands those facts.
And he was stuck behind Mark Teixeira.
And essentially then made available another bluff. But there was a trio: Jabba Chamberlain, Ian Kennedy, and Phil Hughes. And Kennedy took some time. Here he is. Jabba has never really found a successful, consistent niche year in and year out. Gifted. Pickoff throw to first. Well, that was run very well. But back in is Stubbs. 1-2 the count. Now you can see he can run the bases.
That's a very good number, 79%.
30 stolen bases last year. He'll homer. He'll play some defense. He'll strike out some too. Talking about Stubbs. Right back to the screen it goes. Brandon Phillips involved in an interesting trade back in 2002. He was sent to Cleveland with Cliff Lee and Grady Sizemore and Lee Stevens for Bartolo Colon, who came back to Montreal, and Tim Drew.
Wow.
Stephen Drew's older brother. to right field. Coming on is Upton. Makes the play look like up in the lights and the fans. He lost it for a minute, but found it in time to snatch that run. But that's an RBI. 3-1 the score. And for Phillips, RBI number 5 on a sac fly.
So the Reds take advantage of a mistake, and that is Ian Kennedy a little tardy getting over to cover first base. So what would have been the third out ends up being the second out, and it's a sacrifice fly. Good at bat there by Phillips, too, battling, putting the ball in play and making good things happen. Stubbs probably be on the move here shortly.
So Kennedy with a slider, that cut fastball slider he threw to Votto. This is not where he wanted it, but he liked the result. First pitch. Kind of a hanging slider at the belt.
I wouldn't want to make a habit of doing that. They got him.
He just picked off Stubbs. You said he was going to be on the move. Kennedy was anticipating. A couple of throws over. Montero picking as well. This time Stubbs realizes that one of his corner outfielders might want to get his glove for him. I'm telling you what, it's time and it's back. You might be wondering what Kachinko is. Find out. You can learn how to play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during any Diamondbacks regular season home game. I'm so glad it's back. I've been begging, I've been pleading. We actually, I didn't know if you knew this, Gracie, is the first pitch is a strike to Kelly Johnson. Actually kept the Kachinko kiosk in my garage over the wintertime.
Did you really?
And it's just one of those things. The kids loved it. Now it's here at the ballpark. It's just a great interactive game. And maybe on this homestand, we may be heading out doing a telecast from out there. 0-2.
Joey Johnson laid a sacrifice bunt, and that led to a run.
In on the knuckles, it's rolled out to Scott Rowland. Hey, by the way, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink. Now, they do so between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. Gracie and I enjoying our tacos yesterday. We met up.
That was so good. Needed them.
Headed in between where we're both at. We headed over that Taco Bell on 90th Street. At a production meeting as that one is inside. 1-0 the
that
count
was a
to
very
Justin
good
Upton.
idea to go and have our free tacos. All we had to purchase was a large drink. It's a lot better idea than doing a telecast out at the Kachinko area.
1-0 the count. In on the hands, just down below. Good try, Gracie. Boy, your hands are still there this year. You almost had that one.
Almost had that.
1-1 the count. Number 1 pick overall, Justin Upton, in 2005 at a Great Bridge High School in Virginia. That's a fun draft list to peer down. On the ground, diving attempt. It's knocked down by the shortstop, who shoots it on across. Giannis, a fine play, erasing Justin Upton, who singled in a run in the first inning.
Great play there by Giannis. Gets to his feet quickly and throws a strike over to Joey Votto. Justin Upton gets robbed of his second hit of the ball game.
So Upton is erased. And you look at that 05 draft, you see Alex Gordon next. Ryan Braun, you see him 5th. Troy Tulowitzki 7th. And Jay Bruce, who's in right field, 12th. As Young takes over the inside corner. And oh, by the way, I skipped over Cameron Maben and Andrew McCutcheon as well.
Why would you skip over them? They were great. They've been great. Cameron Maben off to a good start in San Diego.
Jacoby Ellsbury, the 23rd overall pick. So that 2005 first round. Clay Buchholz, a supplemental pick in that first round. Goodness. Inside, 1-1 the count. The Diamondbacks this year in the first round have the 3rd overall pick and the 7th overall pick. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball. Don't forget, anytime a D-back hits one in the bleachers, that's a very good thing, because another $150 courtesy of Fulton Homes, donated to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. In and out of the catcher's mitt.
Just able to nick it foul and stay alive.
Couple of ground outs already in this inning. On 1-2. Over the top of a changeup. Young goes down on strikes. A little bit of try your luck with Travis Wood, like we like to do when Gracie and I get together with our microphones and head on out to Cocheco. Oh, it'll be coming up here, maybe on this homestand. Practiced in my garage all winter. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Joey Votto to lead things off. We roll out our AT&T trivia question. The 5th active first baseman to win a Most Valuable Player award. 5th active first baseman to win an MVP. Can you name the other 4 to win an MVP award? Active, first base, Most Valuable Player. 1-0 the count. Hot shot. That's a fair ball. You can see it kick up some of the white chalk down that right field line. Upton will fire it back in on a hop. So Joey Votto, you had a pickoff to end the third inning. Votto, very first at bat the next inning, a double.
Just inside the line. Brian Runge, the first base umpire, points it fair and then says, "Urgh."
He's a little intense, tough.
He can get that way. Very good umpire, though.
Rolling, singled back in the second inning. Late swing.
Once again, just so cognizant of trying to go the other way. Trying to do the team thing. We saw it with Melvin Mora. He ended up striking out, but Roland trying to let the ball travel so far and swat it the other way. He got it thrown right by him.
A run on 4 hits, no errors for the Reds. 3-4-0 for the Diamondbacks. Again, lets it travel deep. This one, though, he drives into the corner in right field, but it's foul off to the right. And the pride of Jasper, Indiana, is in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Nice, a souvenir at the ball yard. All-state basketball player as well in the state of Indiana. He is a big gentleman.
He is a very large gentleman.
About 6'4", 6'5", about 230, 240. And in good shape. Outstanding basketball player. All-state basketball player, and that would be again in Indiana.
Yeah, you're not going to be this big and not play basketball in Indiana. You know that. Got him. Gas. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and once again, those 2 shots to right field that he took, he ended up being a strikeout victim. Perfectly elevated, right around the letters, right where Miguel Montero wanted it, and got the result Ian Kennedy wanted.
Here's Jay Bruce. So how does a pitcher that throws 88 to 90 believe in his fastball as much as Ian does? You command it. You have to throw it where you want to throw it. Now it's right down the middle, though. 0-1. Canadian native Joey Votto took a bite out of the dirt.
He looks like he just kind of belongs in the dirt, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's a ball player right there. I don't throw those out to just everybody.
No, I know you don't. It takes one to know one, some would say to you.
Well, you're very kind.
Breaking ball.
Beautiful breaking ball there from Ian.
0-2 the count. Again, it's a pitch different when some say they throw a changeup or a split or a slider. That curveball, you can throw it to righties or lefties with equal effectiveness because it drops straight down. And at times tough to command a pitch like that. There it is again. Curveball, that's strike 3.
Well, Jay Bruce has seen 6 pitches tonight, and he struck out on 3 pitches twice.
There is a fastball, 4-seamer, a curveball. You can see he pulls that knuckle up. Not a knuckle curve, just uses that to get more rotation on the ball. Changeup, now those are the middle finger and the ring finger. Middle finger and ring finger, almost like a Vulcan grip. And then the cutter just holds it off. That we've seen a little bit more of that pitch than in years past. Well, those are 2 fabulous curveballs in a row.
They were. One more big out to get. Worried way too much, if you ask me, about Joey Votto at second base with 2 outs. The guy you should be concerned with is this guy in the batter's box, because if you get him out, Joey Votto's not going to score.
This guy drove in 86 runs last year in the batter's box.
Beautiful
Big swing.
changeup. Yeah, this is a dangerous guy in the box.
And he grips that pitch because otherwise you would tip that pitch. He grips it and then adjusts as he takes a sign. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Gomes last year. As that one is in the dirt. Great job, Montero. Curveball there. Hey, want to ask you a quick poll question. Remind you to text to 36929. 36929.
What we got?
Talking about the Central Division. Who do you favor to win the National League Central? Cincinnati, Milwaukee, St. Louis, or Chicago? Who do you favor? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 36929.
Number 5, the Houston Astros, and number 6, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So text them on in.
The 2-1. High fly into right center field, racing over Young and up. Didn't see why. In front of Justin is there to haul it in. Party though. I mean, would pop every balloon in the room and the kids would be crying. That's a great look. The sun's always shining around his life. Our AT&T trivia question. Joey Votto is the 5th active first baseman to win an MVP. Albert Pujols, Ryan Howard, Justin Morneau, and Jason Giambi.
That's got to be Jason Giambi.
But those are the other 4. And a good question. Good question. Very well-researched question. Josh Weingraff came up with that question. It was a good one. It's good to see him stepping back in and contributing a solid question. I mean, outside of the Jeremy Giambi,
Well, it's like saying Tommy Aaron's the home run king.
Steven Druzy raced. Oh, I miss Ozzie Canseco.
Well, Ozzie hit all those home runs.
I mean, I personally can even relate to that one. I mean, who won 324 games?
Darren Sutton.
Oh, sure. He was good. Oh, the games played streak Billy Ripken had. What? Oh, the count is 80. We're sorry, folks. We apologize.
Sometimes we like to have some fun at others' expense and each other's.
Yeah, well, we all have one another's back as soon as we take the knife out of it. 0-1 the count to Nady. High fly ball left field. Drop that back shoulder a bit.
With the D-backs Pepsi Max Value Pack, you get a lower level ticket, a hot dog, soda, and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max, all for just $19. Available every game, every day. Call 602-462-4787 or visit dbacks.com/value.
Oh, 1 the count to Miguel Montero. In on the knuckles. Boy, tough pitch.
That one got in there and hurt his feelings a little bit.
Well, I remember a guy that used to pitch in and do so successfully, won more than 350 games doing it, Mike Maddox.
No, that was Greg Maddox.
Oh.
Mike Maddox, a terrific pitching coach down in Texas, but no, that was he was the brother. Look at Miguel Montero hit.
Unbelievable.
Look at this young man hit.
He's got 2 hits today, a single, a double. He's got a run scored. He is hitting all 5 games. He's got 11 hits this season.
I'm telling you, he just goes down, flips it into center field. I tell you what, the way he's going, he might be able to get a couple hits off Mike Maddox.
Right back to the screen.
Melvin got his pitch and he missed it. Found it straight back. I mean, right down Broadway. And boy, you just hate to let a pitcher get away with those because you're probably not going to see another one of those.
Underneath it, pops it up to the right side. Joey Votto puts it away.
Top of the 5th here at Chase Field. The D-backs leading the Reds by a score of 3-1. It was interesting before the game, the D-backs going through a very spirited infield and outfield practice, working on cutoffs and relays. And I talked to Alan Trammell as they were doing that. He said back in the day with the Tigers, Sparky Anderson would have his club do it every day. In fact, if you didn't take part in that, you wouldn't play in the game. When I talked to Kirk Gibson about that, he says, we won't do it every day, but it's something they're really working on. They want these guys who have made some mistakes in the past, overthrowing cutoff men, things like that, not knowing to go with the ball. They're going to do that a lot this year. Just a sign that this team is very engaged. And again, just being aggressive and being on top of their game.
With an honest manager constantly assessing their performance, that's good stuff. Melvin Moore on the cross in time for the out. This is a team that in so many areas, and it's unfortunate because it was such a well-attended spring training, but in so many areas set the bar very low this spring. Defensively, pitching, timely hitting. They really, really struggled Arizona this spring.
Agree. And you talk about Alan Trammell and Kirk Gibson, and they played for Sparky Anderson, and I came a little bit later than those guys when they started, but that was just something that was expected. You did it every day. Take infield, take outfield, do the cutoffs and realize that and it just doesn't happen as much as it used to. What a novel concept. Practicing. Isn't that amazing?
Well, in every other sport, it's appropriate. Guys practice free throws every single day.
Yeah, at the morning shoot-around, or in hockey, the morning skate.
Popped up and into the seats it goes. And, of course, Sparky Anderson, who baseball, Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell, a couple of his loyal followers, lost this past winter. But the game lost a wonderful man. 1-2 the count. Swings right over the top of it. Kirk Gibson knows part of the reason he's working is to win these fans back. He was very honest about that before the game.
We understand that's our obligation. I know that there was a time last year when I hear people say, "Where's everybody at?" And I heard a comment, "Well, the fans dressed as green seats." And we had to have a talk about that. I wonder why. Who chased them out of here? That's up to us. So do we want them to see a great game? Yeah. Do we want them to come back? Yeah. But it's our job and our desire and our dedication to play the kind of ball day in and day out that they'll want to be here. We don't want to be a fluke. We want to earn it, and we know we have to.
Have you back of the ballpark. Don't forget, it's a very good cause to recycling your car seat. Keep our planet neat. Recycle your car seat. April 22nd, 8 a.m. to noon down at the Tempe Marketplace. You drop off your used car seat. It is recycled for a very, very good cause. Again, for info, visit PhoenixChildrens.com. It's brought to you by our good friends with Sagicor, and of course Fox supports Arizona. Sagicor Life Insurance Company. Ian Kennedy to lead it off. Arizona leads it 3-1. Over the outside corner, it's strike one. Big swing.
Well, he had a
Kennedy.
good rip at one.
Back to the screen it goes.
Travis Wood missed his spot there, and Kennedy had a mighty rip at it.
Wood has settled in a little bit. He had a quiet third. He had a quiet fourth. The damage, a majority of it done, if you're just joining us, by the Diamondbacks in the first inning of this game, as that one is low. Willie Bloomquist will lead off double. Kelly Johnson moved him over with the bunt. Upton singled him home. Two batters later, Drew doubled in his first at bat as a starter this year. Upton home.
Big rip. But he'll go down swinging.
And now Willie Bloomquist. Willie was a visitor back in 2006 as a Seattle Mariner. Played in just one game. It was a 3-2 loss to the Diamondbacks as a Mariner. That's the only other time he's ever played in Chase Field in a regular season game until tonight. Breaking ball stays up and away to Bloomquist. Now, he had started every game at shortstop for the Diamondbacks with Drew out. As that one is popped up to the right side. This time it's an easy chance. And it's put away by Brandon Phillips. Quest high-speed internet high-speed pitch. Travis Wood at 93. Ian Kennedy at 91. And here's Kelly Johnson. Kelly with a sac bunt and also grounded out to third off the end of the bat, shallow center. Late break, but now picking it up some speed. And the third, fourth, and fifth have been relatively uneventful for that man, young left-hander Travis Wood. Well, it's a new day, a new year, but the same racing. And he saw Matty and Gonzo and Randy shaking hands back there with the fans. And, well, he went back.
Didn't want to miss out, did I?
No, you didn't. And then the racing Gracie, again, was lost. And it was very disappointed. You had a roster move, though. Oh, Willie.
Yep, he's running in that suit tomorrow, and I'm going to win. He's leading the league in stolen bases. He's going to run for me.
You think Kevin Towers will allow that, do you?
I'll talk to Kevin about it.
Okay, I know you have a good relationship. 1-0 the count to Stubbs as that one is high and away. 2-0 the count I'll make sure and get to Kevin before you do, because I love the results again tonight.
Nah, it was terrible.
If I have anything to say about it, and clearly, as far as you folks at home know, I don't. Wink, wink.
Yeah, right.
The Racing Gracie will never win.
Well, I think between you and Gonzo, Matty, Randy, bad conspiracy.
Well, it's a great point. I know Randy and I talk regularly. 2 and 2
Do you
to
now?
count. He was just texting me and curious how he was going to do in the race. I told him I'd take care of things. Good to hear from him. The 2-2. Got him. That's a changeup. And the slugger, Stubbs, though a leadoff hitter, is a slugger way out front trying to drive that baseball.
About as well executed as you can do it, right at the bottom of the kneecaps, the bottom of the zone. You just cannot lay off of that. And we've spoken with Ian about that. He knows when he throws his changeup correctly, he's going to get a swing and a miss. That's how much confidence he has in that pitch. Brandon Phillips trying to step out on him, make him wait a little bit. He just stands right there on the mound. Let's go. I love that.
Run on 4 hits for the Reds. Curveball backs him out of there. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. Change up on 1-0. It's 1-1. In 2-1 the count on Phillips. Brandon was saying before the game that there's a bit of a peer pressure going on in that Reds locker room to grow your game every day defensively.
I love it. Why wouldn't you?
And they're the best defensive team in all of baseball early on. Change up to a knee. This is a very animated at bat.
That's when you know you have a good changeup, is when you make a opposing hitter drop to a knee.
More than 2-1. Southwest pitch count. Bouncing ball. Mora to his left. Hops back up in time and got it. That was a fun at bat to watch, and Kennedy won the battle.
Well, Phillips smoked it to third base, but as you said, Kennedy wins the battle. Thanks to a nice play to his left by Melvin Moore and throwing it across the diamond. Yeah. Who says the old guys still don't get excited?
Oh, you bet they do.
Little breaking ball first pitch there. Joey Votto fouls it back.
Was he short and quick to the baseball?
His bat speed, I mean, it's just greased lightning. How quickly his bat gets through the zone. That's why he's so doggone good. Oh, what a pitch. Right on the inside corner, right underneath his belly button. Perfect pitch.
Got him over the inside corner. So, curveball just missed it, and then 2 fastballs. I still think he was looking for that curveball again. All ball. It's a cool thing. Brought to you by Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning. It's our cool play of the game, going the other way. Part of small ball. Sacrifice bunts. Part of small ball. It sets up an RBI. Justin Upton. Again, going the other way. Ian Kennedy. Now, this is the second out, and you think, well, why do you do this with 2 outs? That's why. Pitch into the dirt, run, come on down, and you know Kennedy likes it in that dugout. With a beautiful sacrifice bunt. This club will not have the ability this year to outsmash you with the bat in their hands.
Not a chance.
They have to do this.
Doggone right they do. And they got off to a very good start. Ian Kennedy has made 3 runs stand up thus far. Both starting pitchers have really settled in nicely here this evening.
Quiet in the 4th, 5th, and in a half of the 6th inning. Kennedy having a great night. We don't want to get too far into Kennedy's next inning of work. We'd love to show again what he did to Joey Votto. I mean, let's not go too far past it right now. That's the reigning most valuable player. That was 3 pitches. Upton inside, 2-0 the count. 3 pitches.
That doesn't happen to Joey Votto very often.
You have to be creative. You have to change up the way you pitch every time, similar to the way everyone pitches pool holes. Inside, 3 takes in a row, pitches into Upton, and he's ahead 3-0. Green light here?
No, not leading off an inning. Not for me at least, but the game's changed since I played.
I always like to ask. Outside, nowhere close.
Need base runners.
Well, they've got one. Upton singled and scored back in the 1st inning. He now draws a walk. That's his 2nd walk of the year. A new pitching coach for Kirk Gibson, Charles Nagy, a very successful major league pitcher. A new staff that we're still getting to know if you've just joined us. Eric Young, Glenn Sherlock, a longtime Diamondback. He is in from the bullpen. Alan Trammell, many say should be in the Hall of Fame. He's the bench coach. And Matt Williams with a broken foot, giving way at 3rd base to Glenn Sherlock right now. Inside corner, he's staying stubborn in there. 0-1 the count. Hudson against Arroyo tomorrow. Reds and Diamondbacks. That's a fun one.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier after this one, does it?
And of course, another coach in there, hitting coach Don Baylor. A new look staff for these Diamondbacks. There's Baylor, the man in his first year of professional ball had Joe Altobelli as his manager in the minor leagues.
Man.
And then a year or 2 later in the minor leagues, Cal Ripken Sr. was his manager.
That's a lot of victories managing
before he ever got to the big leagues. And then he had a who's who lead him in the majors. Young pokes that one into the seats.
Don Baylor was an MVP.
79 with the Angels. He played in 38 postseason games as a player. Played for Tony La Russa, Tom Kelly, Yogi Berra, Billy Martin, Gene Mauch, Jim Fergosi, Chuck Tanner, to name a few. Earl Weaver. How about those managers? Hot shot. Roland can't flag it, and that's all with that speed. It was almost a beautiful play. That'll be a hit for Chris Young. Like a hockey goalie, he took a stab at it but came up empty.
That ball was just scalded by Chris Young. And when that guy can't come up with it, if it's too hot to handle for Scott Rowland, that's a base hit.
They rule that an error on the 3rd baseman,
now
Scott Rowland.
That'll have to be changed. That will have to be changed. That's not even debatable.
Wow.
That has to be changed. That's not an error.
Rowland is in at 3rd on the cut of the grass. Votto is in. They're looking for a bunt from Drew. And that one is up and away. 1-0 the count. There it is again, real speed, folks.
It's one of the most ridiculous official scoring jobs I've ever seen.
1-0 the count. They're still looking for the bunt. Charging in. And he takes high, 2-0. Part of the bunt defense that doesn't always get talked about, especially from up here in our broadcasting booth, is where the first baseman goes, the third baseman goes, but the pitcher has to give him a pitch to bunt. That's the other part of it.
None of that's any good at all if you don't get a strike.
That play again a moment ago that handcuffed Rolen. 2-0.
I mean, it was a laser. Short hopped to his left.
I just assumed on my behalf.
Yeah, well, you should have, that it was a base hit.
No bunt there on 2-0. They say go ahead and whack it in the gap if you can.
Now go back to bunting. You gave him his shot. Now go back to bunting.
Two and one the count to Drew. Steven, in his last 5 games against the Reds last year, hit .370. Really knocked them around. The Diamondbacks couldn't beat the Reds.
Missed up with it. Good take right there from Drew.
Boy, that had missed by much.
It was up.
Three and one the count.
Don't look at me like that. It was up. Just a little bit. Not, I mean, it wasn't way up, but just slightly up.
We want Steven to succeed, but that's the pitcher in me watching that one. 3 and 1.
Same
that's
pitch,
high.
same spot.
Ball 4. They are loaded. Fox Saturday Baseball returns tomorrow as the Yankees head to historic Fenway Park to take on the Red Sox in the latest meeting between the two sports' biggest rivals. Fox Saturday Baseball returns tomorrow at a special time of 9:30 in the morning. Beginning with This Week in Baseball. Check your local listing for the game and the start time in your area. And you will note that when that game is played, there will be no gravity. You'll be able to have items in your house that will just lift off your floor because the earth will stop rotating as that game is played. Upton, he walked. Young reached on, at this point, what has been called an error, but it looked like a single. And Stephen Drew walked. Either way, no matter how you score it, the bases are loaded. And some action in the bullpen.
For an opportunity now for ex-Nady and these Diamondbacks to, well, put these very talented Cincinnati Reds away. But by swinging at that pitch up around your neck, that's not the way to do it. Pressure's all on the pitcher in this situation, folks. He has to throw a strike. He's got no place to put you. So you have to make him throw strikes.
Oh, and on the count, they've changed the ruling on the field, and understandably so, to a base hit for Chris Young. Hard ground ball. That's a fair ball rolling down the left field line. Upton comes around. Young comes around. And RBI twice with the double. Xavier Nady. And it's 5-1 Arizona.
Well, you can fool a veteran player one time, and that's what happened with the swing and the miss up. Then he tries to come right back inside, and this time Nady was waiting on it. And he rips it by a diving Scott Rowland. 2 runs are going to score. And the Diamondbacks with an opportunity to put a huge number on the board here as Dusty Baker is going to go get Travis Wood.
Travis Wood, in 8 starts already in the big leagues, had gone 6 or more innings and given up 2 runs or less. Not tonight. A young man who had exploded onto the scene gets knocked around. 5-1. Arizona leads it. We'll introduce you to the member of the bullpen, Logan Andrusek, who is coming in right now. Diamondbacks baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Like Colorado, have your best summer vacation ever in Colorado. Plan and book today at Colorado.com. Also the fast, reliable, secure, and heavy-duty internet from Quest. Travis Wood is done. Stays on that top step. Rare to see an outing like that for this gifted young left-hander. Logan Andrusek takes the baseball, the big, tall right-hander. He goes to work. 6'8" tall. He learned a cutter in spring training. Also throws a split-fingered fastball somewhere in the low 90s. You can see the work he did last season.
He's going to have to be special here. He's got nobody out and runners on second and third, and he tried to cut that fastball right in on Miguel Montero, but he misses.
Arizona in their first 3 games, they were 4 of 34 with runners in scoring position. That's a 118 clip. Including tonight, they're 8 of their last 22 since. So timely hits are starting to fall in. The at-bats are getting better. Nowhere close as that one sails outside.
Well, this might be one of those unintentional, intentional walks. Miguel Montero, one of the hottest players in the major leagues. You've got a right-handed hitter in Melvin Mora on deck. And this would also allow a force at any base.
Up in the zone, 2-1 the count. He's hit just about in every other situation, but not in this one. Singled and doubled, scored a run. Nady, well, that's got to feel good for Xavier Nady. A big hit in front of a home crowd. Getting the start at first tonight against the left-hander. Bloomquist in left. In. 3-1 the count. You think about Nady with those now 3 RBIs this year. Go back a couple of years when he split time between Pittsburgh and the Yankees. He drove in nearly 100, 97 that year. Into the dirt on a backhand.
Yeah, that was the old pitch around, and we'll take our chances with Melvin Mora and then Ian Kennedy.
And let's see how Melvin handles that. He's played a solid third base tonight. He's hitless with the bat in his hands, 0 for 2. Drew walked, Nady doubled, Montero walked. Over the top of that cut fastball he worked on all spring. Melva signed with the Astros back in 1991 as a free agent. Started to make his way through their system. High fly ball into right center field. That was an RBI sitting on a silver platter, and for Mora, he will take it. Nady also moves up to third. Another run for the Diamondbacks. They lead it by a score of 6-1 on top of the visiting Cincinnati Reds.
Great job, Melvin Mora. Not only does he get him in, but he also gets Nady over to third base to set up possibly a squeeze play in this situation. And that means one thing, Darren Sutton. It is officially taco time here at Chase Field. All right, let's see those dancing tacos.
Between 4 and 6 tomorrow. Grab yourself a large drink at Taco Bell.
Well, I want to see the dancing tacos.
Well, earlier I think they showed us some sauce.
Oh.
You like the tacos?
Yeah.
Oh, there's sauce. Yeah. Hot and mild and fire. All right, we'll be changing that animation.
I like the tacos a lot better, especially those ones with arms.
0-1 the count. Glenn Sherlock. Done a nice job, hasn't he?
He's been terrific out there.
Boy, talk about 2 different positions on the coaching staff.
Exactly, from bullpen coach to third base coach right out of the gate. And Matt Williams, certainly. We wish him a speedy recovery, or a speedier recovery.
Kennedy got time. That pitch sails high up and out of the zone. Think about Melvin Mora and the journeys he has been on throughout his career as he drives in that run. You mentioned Mora signed in '91 with the Astros. Mora actually ended up playing in Taiwan for a year before he signed with the Mets. Mora,
amazing.
An interesting study. We'll get to know him throughout the year. 1-2 the count. One and two the count with 2 strikes. I would imagine nothing fancy on now. Instead, it's a line drive. Coming home with it. Played it on a hop. They keep an eye on the base runner. On the rundown, the runners move up. Good heads-up base running. Eric Young got in the ear of Ian Kennedy and said, I need you to keep going and then watch it. You'll at least be able to move up. It looked like for a moment Votto snagged that one on the line. He snagged it on a hop.
What a great play by Joey Votto right there.
Unbelievable.
That ball was drilled off the bat of Ian Kennedy. I mean, this ball smashed. A dive and then a strike to the plate. And then the rest is pretty much fundamental. But a nice job by Nady staying in the rundown long enough to move the runners up and give Willie Bloomquist a chance to blow this thing open.
Willie doubled and scored in the first inning, lined to right field, and popped to second. These Diamondbacks making the defenders for the Reds go to work. They add on a few more. They lead it 6-1. On a pitcher who said he was a bit jumpy in Denver on opening day. The only people jumping tonight are APS Energy All-Star or the opposing hitters, the Cincinnati Reds. He's kept them uncomfortable all night.
He really has. He's changed speeds very well. Got a huge double play to get him out of the jam. He's working fast. He's throwing strikes. He's getting good defense behind him. Ian Kennedy's been the real deal here this evening.
He has retired the last 9 Cincinnati Reds, 5 of them with a strikeout. And the right-hander passed up a chance to begin his pro career a couple of years prior to going to USC. Was drafted out of high school by the Cardinals, so he would have been in this Central Division. Went to USC and pitched very effectively. Dominated in the minors as well as continued to learn in the major leagues, but after 2 seasons ago suffering an aneurysm in his shoulder and having a procedure to have that alleviated, came back and really was strong last year in his first full season in the major leagues. We thought for a time, those that follow the Diamondbacks, and Gracie and I watching him pitch in Milwaukee, we thought for a time that he might be shut down. Maybe he had hit the wall as Scott Rowland, the perennial all-star, jumps underneath that one and pops it up to the right side.
You're right. It looked like he was pretty much out of gas, if you will. He was spent. But boy, were we incorrect on that. He finished the 2010 season, I mean, with a flourish. He was terrific in September.
That one sinks low. He tops that one to the right side. Jay Bruce has struck out twice. He kind of has crawled inside of Jay Bruce's noggin a little bit. It's been curveballs. That time, belted into left center field. Off the base of the wall. Bruce hustling on around. Stayed back nicely and just crushed it.
Yeah, I'm tired of striking out off of you, Ian Kennedy. It looked like he picked out a changeup there and just went down and drilled it into left center field. Maybe a fastball. I think that was a fastball after all. Just goes down and gets it.
A little two-seamer, 86 miles an hour. He's got more in that right arm, but just a little batting practice fastball.
Been efficient with his pitches as well, Darren. He's only thrown 81 pitches, and here we are in the 7th inning. That's very good. Kind of seems low, though, doesn't it?
It does. A little bit inside. A little bit perplexed with what he's throwing right now because it has the movement of his changeup, but it's 88 and 89 miles an hour.
I think he's messing around with a little
two-seamer,
sinking fastball.
I think so too. Same thing. Rarely does he have that action on his fastball.
Nothing wrong with using that four-seam fastball. He's been throwing so well tonight.
3-0 the count. Three and one the count to Johnny Gomes. Kennedy and his wife Allison expecting their first child very soon now. Their lives will officially change forever, as we all can attest to up here. As that one in on the hands, it's rolled foul. And his wife Allison, when he was at USC playing his college baseball, you see she had come out from the Midwest in Missouri. She was out playing college basketball at USC. So sometimes if you go home and you want to talk about a tough day or athletics or your experiences, you may have someone a little bit closer in that sense you can talk to right there. Maybe someone who may be a little more honest with you too. 3-2, got it. And
that was
honestly there, that was a good change.
That was the changeup.
Well, there's your difference, right? About 6 miles an hour.
Came all the way back from a 3-0 count and got a dangerous hitter to swing over the top of a 3-2 changeup. Yeah, that's the split grip. You can see it. Big time pitch at a big time. 8 strikeouts now for Ian Kennedy.
Six to 1 the score. Ryan Hannigan. Folks might remember last year in San Diego when Ian struck out 12 Padres. That's his career high. Curveball is outside. By the way, that start in San Diego, where he dominated, struck out 12 Padres, came not too long after the start in Milwaukee that
You're
everyone thought
exactly
he was done.
Might have been the next start.
It's incredible.
And it just carried that. He carried that momentum right through the end of the season.
1-1 the count. Gracie's excited. The wave is starting up here at the ballpark. An old, long-standing baseball tradition. Started back at Ebbets Field. The 1-1. Curveball is outside.
That's really not a long-standing baseball tradition at all. It's a tradition here at Chase Field that I hope to see end soon.
You like the big crowd, though.
I love the big crowd. Diamondback fans have done themselves very proudly here this evening. They've seen the boys in Sedona Red play awfully well through 7 innings.
In on the hands, and that one is chopped third base line. I'm telling you, if you're a Diamondback, you think, well, whenever we're here in Arizona, it's a packed house. If you include spring training, it's been just about a sellout every time.
True.
I love it, though. Kirk Gibson, and we've already played you the thought that the Diamondbacks manager had if you're just joining us. He made it clear that we're here to earn these fans back. The 2-2. There was a point where a player said to him, with a bit of a grin, with a smile, "Oh, folks are dressed as empty seats or green seats." And Gibby immediately turned it on the player and said, "And why do you think that is?"
Yeah.
That's you and your teammates' level of play.
Yeah, you were a big reason for that. And that's going to change. And if it doesn't change, that man, Kirk Gibbs, is going to die trying to make it change.
2-2 the count. 2 outs. Buried a fastball in. 91 miles an hour. Goodness, Ryan Hannigan. That was no fun, I would imagine.
D-backs 6-1 over the Reds. Jody Jackson, Joe Borowski getting set for Quest Diamondbacks Live, our post-game show. And Joe, you've been right on target. Your keys in the first pregame show, and we saw small ball early in this game, and we've seen great starting pitching.
Outstanding performance by the D-backs so far in the home opener for them. We're going to look back at that first and second inning and see exactly what players are contributing to maybe this new style of offense for the D-backs.
All right, Joe, we'll certainly break that down after the game. Darren, Gracie, we'll look forward to talking with you after the game as well.
Looking forward to that, bringing in Joe Bo and his insights. He nailed it in his keys coming on, and we look forward to him bringing it back. You allow yourself a pat on the back when you pretty much come out of the gates and hit a homer on the things that are important. And the key is those gentlemen, as our fine pilots from our flyover, stand up and stretch them out. The team has to execute. Talking about the things that need to be done and the team doing those little things. Matt Maloney takes the ball, the left-hander. Last season, worked 20 innings in the big leagues. Well, you think about the Reds. Most runs they have allowed in a game, tied with opening day when they allowed the exact same total as today. And the fewest runs they have scored in a game as well. Ramon Hernandez is behind the plate. Hernandez in the 9 slot. Pitcher spot is now in the 7 slot. And Kelly Johnson leads it off. Last game the Reds scored 2 runs. Brett Myers started that game. They've scored just 1 in this one. Before that they scored 40.
Ooh.
40 in their first 5. 7, 4, 12, 8, 12. They rolled out of the season with big bats.
Well, they can put runs up in a hurry, can these Reds, so you just have to keep pounding away at them.
Kelly is 0 for 2. He dropped down a key sack bunt early in the ball game. This one is belted, well struck into left field. Going back is Gomes to the wall. He's got room. Kelly, who had such a huge April offensively last year, nearly knocked one into the seats. It would have been his first home run this year.
He gave it a ride. He got a pitch up in the zone and out over, and Kelly Johnson certainly plenty of pop to the left, but just in front of the wall. Johnny Gomes goes back and makes the play. Maloney thinking that might be a home run in Cincinnati. That's the way they say it in Cincinnati.
Is it?
Yeah.
Justin goes after the first pitch and tries to pull that one. It's foul. Nice. There's a memory. There's a souvenir. Something to show all your buddies over the weekend. That's
and he's just, okay, I'm leaving. Yep. Done. That's legitimately taking your ball and going home.
The 1-1. A lot like number 99 did today. He took his bats and balls and went home.
Manny Ramirez. No. That's okay. Because at this point,
Justin Upton, he took his baseball and he can jog. Touch them all. Off the foul pole down the left field line, and Upton, his first home run since opening day, which means it's his second of the year, and it's his second RBI of the night. Officially an opening day party, folks.
It sure is. A change up that just stays right in the middle of the zone. Justin hammers it. Well, it's a pretty swing. When he puts that swing on a baseball, magic things happen. There's that one skied to Hannigan.
Nice arms in the air down in that bullpen. That's a Fulton Holmes homer, by the way. Another $150 donated courtesy Fulton Holmes, the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. So Upton with 5 runs batted in. That is his 12th career home run in April in 74 games. And again, he had been quieted down. He was quiet in Chicago.
Very much so. And that's kind of the way Justin's been in his young career. He's run hot and cold. The hots are really, really hot. The colds have been very cold.
Well, I'll say this, though, Gracie. If you can shrink it down to a couple of games at a time or a series at a time when you're cold, rather than, you know, he's battled at times weeks at a time.
Very true.
And the All-Star, who, by the way, finds his hitting coach. You've really educated me on that fact.
Oh, anytime you hit a home run, you go find your hitting coach, and it's almost like that dog wagging his tail at his master. You know, was that good? Was that good? Was I a good boy there? Yeah. And then you get a biscuit and a pat on the head.
Curveball, strike 3. But I mean, we don't want to endorse adults eating like dog biscuits, do we?
Well, no. No, that's.
You were just being figurative.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for understanding.
Okay. Biscuits.
Killing us.
Ian Kennedy, first pitch, fastball, strike 1 to Paul Janisch. Janisch singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th inning. Out of Rice University. Line drive past a diving Melvin Moore, the 3rd baseman, into left field. So Janisch has a 2-for-3 night. He's got 10 hits this year. A couple of guys at the bottom of the order who were supposed to be glove but not big hit guys, Hannigan and Janisch, are hitting to start the season. Part of that double switch, the veteran Ramon Hernandez comes on. And remember, Hernandez on opening day with a walk-off homer. And it's always a good day when you walk off the Brewers.
Well, there's the Brewer reference. And there's a jubilant Reds dugout. And then, of course, when you do hit a game-winning home run like that, you get the tar beat out of you at home plate.
Right there, he's up 6. He's not messing around. You love that. 0-1 the count as he pours in a strike. One and one the count to even things up. Hernandez began working in the major leagues with the A's organization. Aaron Heilman getting loose. I'm familiar with that number 55 that he has worn throughout a majority of his career, except for a brief time. Swing and a miss.
Yes.
And that was all about location, too, that pitch.
Right under his hands. You're exactly right. Perfectly executed. I mean, right under the hands. And there's a hole in a lot of hitters' swings right there. Probably got him set up for a changeup, though. Let's see what they go with. Well, they're going to go back in there.
Fly ball center field, Young. A bit of a late break. Picked it up right away.
Well, Ian Kennedy has absolutely dominated a very good offensive club in the Reds. Right back inside, jam Hernandez, and just a lazy, easy fly ball to Chris Young in center field. How do you like the beard? You like the beard Kennedy's sporting now?
Well, it hadn't crossed my mind to, well, as Fox Sports Arizona likes to say, weigh in on it. I haven't really thought about it. Let's think about it.
Well, it's not Wednesday.
I understand,
you don't really
but
have to weigh in.
Kind of that's the big rally cry at the mothership. Weigh in.
Very true.
That's a strike. 1-1 the count. Back inside for a fastball. Pitch number 101
Oh,
is a
what a pitch.
Perfect pitch. Kelly Johnson backtracking. Ended up on his tippy toes and put that one away. Home Depot doing more on defense. Brandon Phillips last time up with a rocket shot. Melvin Moore was there to play it on a hop. So Home Depot found the right man there, and Moore did a good job. They want Montero to come out and buy some time. Give Heilman a little bit of time to finish getting ready. Let's see. Again, 101 pitches. The left-hander Patterson is warming. That's a dangerous proposition. Well, if you're Aaron Heilman, you better look out for that left arm of Patterson.
Get nailed, exactly.
Look out. Golly, they might want to switch. He works from the far Aaron Heilman side of the rubber. High fly headed toward that bullpen. Foul ball. Goodness.
But a really, really far one. And there's been a little bit of give and take between Kennedy and Brandon Phillips tonight. I mean, he just unloads. But as you can see, plenty foul.
Phillips lined to right in the first, a sac fly in the third, and then you're right. He grounded out the third with some give and take. Ian.
He is taking some big rips, too. But there's been a couple of pitches inside that Phillips has kind of, well, maybe showed a little displeasure with. But Brandon Phillips is kind of an animated player anyway. He lets you know how he's feeling. He's a delightful kid.
Yeah, talking with him at length before the game.
And he can play. Oh, dear.
In there, and there's that reaction of Phillips. A little tap dance, almost out of respect.
That's almost a cat tip right there. Like, you know what? You've been better than us tonight. Yes.
Right back to work. 0-1 the count. Xavier Nady. What are your thoughts on what you saw in Ian Kennedy?
Brilliant. In a word, brilliant.
Down the line, hugging into the corner, it goes, and it's off the base of the wall. Nady's had a great night. Xavier Nady tonight with his second double.
He's driven in a couple. Saved a run with a diving play at first base earlier in the night. He's going to be a nice weapon to have either in a starting lineup against left-handed pitching or maybe coming off the bench late to face a tough left-hander. And that was something that Kevin Towers felt he needed to do, Darren, is this team needed to be deeper. There needed to be more guys that you can use on an interim basis. For instance, Xavier Nady playing first tonight. Willie Bloomquist playing left tonight. Some guys that can help you.
Unbelievable start to the season for Miguel Montero. Hustling on around, touching second. He'll stop there. Miguel Montero, a perfect night. 3 hits and a walk. And hitting over 500 in the year 2011. And oh, by the way, playing every day.
Well, he just takes a fastball in and just rifles it over the head of Joey Votto. And down into the corner. And this is also something that we didn't see last year. Another thing that Kevin Towers and Kirk Gibson, they wanted to get deeper as far as finding some guys to give some players some rest. A guy like Nady, a guy like Willie Bloomquist, but also develop a killer instinct that they did not have last year, Darren. This was one of those situations where last year, somehow, some way, the Diamondbacks' opponents would have found themselves right back in this ball game in the late going. Part of that due to a poor bullpen last year. Part of it because these guys didn't have the ability to step on an opponent's neck.
Melvin Mora drives it into left center field. And that one is put away. There was a player several years back that played briefly, and a veteran player for these Diamondbacks, and upon leaving was, in his exit conversation, asked about the team because this organization respected his opinion. That player said, and I quote, "Well, it's a comfortable clubhouse." The person asking the question with the Diamondbacks said, "Oh, okay, I understand." And he said, "I don't mean that as a positive. It's too comfortable in that clubhouse."
They were too young to be that comfortable, in other words.
And that plays into what you're talking about. There is a little bit more of an edge in there now.
Well, and you hope it continues. But you just rarely saw a night like this where the Diamondbacks got a small lead, and in the late innings, able to put zeros up on the board against the opponent and then stretch it out with 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, now 1 more here in the 8th.
We've seen Juan Miranda play in 6 games this year. He was acquired this winter from the New York Yankees. Scott Allen on November 18th was sent to the Yankees. Miranda, who was stuck behind Mark Teixeira at first in the Yankees organization, came back the other way. This is a young man that in February of 2005 defected from Cuba. Lived in the Dominican Republic, where he would later find his future wife and raise his family. So that one is rolled foul.
Follow the D-backs with MLB.com at Bat 11 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details. Did I scare you there?
You did just a bit. You jumped right in.
Well, that's kind of what I do.
Pitch is high. It's 9 o'clock in the great state of Arizona. Glad to have you with us. He's Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and thanks for inviting us into your home. And well, you've got a 3-series homestand. You have a free weekend, we hope, some time to come on down to the ballpark, see some of the new improvements, not just to the roster, but to the ballpark. It has really shined up, looks beautiful. The new lineup boards and left and right field.
Put a few coats of paint out there.
You bet.
Looks nice.
From the outside, when you pull up, you can see the panels, and that was that plays right along. Party suites and the Diamond Club, and a good vibe and a good energy. So one of the better values in baseball.
Nice job by the fans coming out here. They've seen a good game. They've been energetic. I'd like to see a lot more of that this year.
Would you now?
Yeah, from the team and the fans.
I think I would too.
I think it kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
I think it does. As that one is high.
Well, you're agreeing with everything I say. I like it.
48,000 plus, a sellout tonight. That one is called in. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Willie Bloomquist, hitless in his last 3 trips, doubled and scored in the first inning. Well, they had 4 hits in Chicago. He had 4 hits in Denver.
But he really set the tone for tonight's ball game. Doubling on the 3rd pitch of the ball game, and then coming around and scoring. And Diamondbacks got out to a great start, and they just continued to roll on. It's good to see. And this is a very good team in the Cincinnati Reds that they are beating up on tonight.
2-2 the count. You can debate it, and it's early, but there are some who say this is the National League's best team.
Now, I'm one of those guys that thinks that. There's a couple of very good teams in the West, and Colorado and San Francisco. Dodgers haven't been playing too bad either. They got some pitching.
Curveball, left it up a bit.
And let's not forget San Diego. They have the best bullpen in all of baseball and some pretty talented young pitching.
I know you never like to overlook the Brewers in that Central Division.
Right. Be the first one to overlook them.
Willie Bloomquist goes the other way again. And this time, the Sun Devil is rewarded with an RBI. Getting hard to explain, Willie. Hey, nothing wrong with that. We love folks getting excited.
Former Diamondback pitching coach on the way out, and that is Brian Price, as Willie Bloomquist just takes another pitch and just continues to use the big part of the field, Darren. That's when you know a guy, and we were talking about this in Chicago a couple of days ago. You know a hitter's locked in when he can use the middle part of the diamond and just continue to line the ball over the head of the second baseman or the shortstop or the pitcher. Willie's been a huge shot in the arm for this ball club.
By the way, you can't help but think of it as you see this replay. This Diamondbacks team has struck out 5 times tonight.
I love it. Strikeouts are down.
And by the way, there's Miranda at third, who patiently worked a walk to reach. Kelly Johnson drives it deep right field, way out of here. The Arizona Diamondbacks lead the Cincinnati Reds 12-1. And now Kelly got his. His first home run, RBIs number 2, 3, and 4, a Fulton Holmes homer. Another $150 to Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Justin Upton. 2-0 the count.
Fastball middle. Kelly Johnson with that slide uppercut swing of his just catches every ounce of it. And it's just a matter of how far.
Remember last year, Kelly in April hit .313 and homered 9 times. He didn't say it out loud, but I would imagine was thinking, I hope these folks don't think I'm going to slug 800 the whole year. Had a huge April. He's been a little bit more quiet in the month of April. But we also knew that that wouldn't last for long.
No, it was tough sledding in Chicago. It was very chilly. When you've been out in Arizona all summer, all of a sudden that is a big difference. As Justin Upton is a strikeout victim.
Cincinnati Reds pitchers had let up a total of 20 runs prior to this game in 6 games. More than half of that in this game.
Ian Kennedy. Lots to smile about here this evening. Daniel Hudson will be here tomorrow. Probably hoping the D-backs save a few runs for him.
Bronson Arroyo thinking, I'm not going to let that happen. Well, a big night tonight. Really almost now for one and all. Willie Bloomquist with 2 hits. Kelly Johnson a big sac bunt and a 3-run homer. Chris Young crushes it. That one is deep left field, and that one is out of here. In a surprising turnabout, the Reds are getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. They have doled out 12 runs twice to opposing teams this year. And it doesn't taste real good, I would imagine. That's a Fulton Holmes homer again, $150 to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. That foot is on the neck, by the way.
Yeah, breaking ball stays in the middle of the zone. Chris Young hammers it down the line and way out of here. Dusty Baker's on his way to remove Matt Maloney from the game, and unfortunately for the left-hander, he was left out there and he got his lunch handed to him.
Baseball welcomes you back. The Coyotes continue to battle for playoff positioning tomorrow as they wrap up the regular season. Leading the Kings right now, by the way, 3-1. Tune in as they take in the Pacific Division leading San Jose Sharks tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Plus, you can log on to foxsportsarizona.com for complete channel listings. Bray, the left-hander, takes the baseball. 13-1, Arizona leads it. And Stephen Drew takes low and inside. Bill Bray, born in Virginia, went to William and Mary collegiately. Bounces that one in there. 9 of the 13 hits for Arizona tonight are extra base hits. 6 doubles and 3 homers.
Putting a little punishment on the heavy favorite to win the Central Division, the Cincinnati Reds.
6 runs in the 8th inning. Steven takes over the outside corner. Drew again was a spectator outside of 1 plate appearance as a pinch hitter the first 5 games of the season. Tops that one off the plate, and so we'll do it again. Since 2008, Hanley Ramirez and Stephen Drew, as we shared with you earlier, are #1 in baseball among shortstops and extra base hits. Speaking of extra base hits, that's like a club of them.
I was going to say.
Over the outside corner, Drew is done, but he is the 9th Diamondback to hit in the inning. Big old hitting party going on tonight. Fabulous tape room doing wonderful, wonderful work. Matt, Derek, and Mike, the best production crew in the game. It's good to be back home. Henry Blanco, good to see him out there. The veteran goes to
I had
work.
heard he was on the team.
Gerardo Parra is in right field, and Aaron Heilman, who made a run at a spot in the starting rotation during spring training, goes to work out of the bullpen. Because of that run, by the way, at the starting rotation, he threw more innings than anyone in March for the Diamondbacks. And Heilman said that allowed him to tweak that cut fastball to work on some things. Probably as a reliever, he wouldn't have had a chance to.
That's very true. He got a chance to get that arm in very good shape.
High fly ball. Joey Votto gave it a ride out toward that balcony in right center field. And Joey Votto with With his club down 13-1, will touch them all. A double and a homer for Votto, who the last time he hit was struck out on 3 pitches. For Votto, his second home run, his 5th RBI.
Well, that was that cut fastball that you said Aaron Heilman had been working on. And you might want to go with something new. As you can see, yeah, that was a cut fastball that for some reason went to the inside part of the plate. Blanco wanted it on the outside part of the plate. And Votto does what he does with mistake pitches. He hits them an awfully long way. Boy, some rascal Juan Francisco just put a rip on it. An Indians fan. Yeah, they don't like the Reds, those Indians.
Oh, that's a good point by you. As that one bounces in there. The last time
they don't like Sharon, Ohio.
They don't?
No.
No.
I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, that's all right. I was just thinking about Heilman as Votto greeted him very rudely. Last time he worked was opening day.
Yeah.
Think about that. You work every 5th day. You're stretched out. You're throwing bullpens like a starting pitcher. Then all in the last days, you don't make the rotation. Work on opening day, and then crickets.
Tumbleweeds out there.
But he has been serving as the bullpen coach.
Boy, this fella takes a big rip. Now,
Always
this guy
has.
reminds me a lot of Josh White.
Always has taken a big rip.
Oh, man.
Juan Francisco. One of many, many crushing offensive players they have. AAA in the big leagues, 4A guys, which he is right now. There's kind of a lot of good stuff waiting. Oh, boy.
Oh. This feller doesn't get cheated. Juan Francisco. Let it fly, son. Guarantee he wouldn't be swinging this hard off of Bob Gibson.
The 2-2. Francisco into right field. Carl will play it on a hop. It's a changeup out over the plate. And Juan Francisco has a single. And Henry Blanco will come out to pay him a visit. Francisco, a 23-year-old young man out of the Dominican Republic, who's had some big home run seasons in the minor leagues. And is a third baseman, waiting behind Scott Rowland right now. So he's waiting in the wings. Here's Jay Bruce. That one is nubbed foul. So as we watch Henry Blanco work behind the plate, you ask yourself, how do you not start Miguel Montero, continue to start him? That one is lifted a mile to left. Long run out there for Willie Bloomquist. Now you had to ask yourself the same question about Willie Bloomquist when Stephen Drew came back healthy.
Got to find a spot for him. Bottom line.
Found a spot for him.
He was your hottest hitter. Him and Montero. You got to find a spot for him.
So Miggy plays tomorrow then.
Well, yeah.
And Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Henry Blanco. I played against Henry Blanco.
Absolutely.
But you run the risk of cooling off your hot hitters if you sit them. You think he wants to sit?
Well, he's made it clear. He's told us in interviews, and he's told us somewhat quietly behind the scenes, that off days are on the schedule. He sees those off days. And we all realize that as a catcher, there will come a time where he will have to have that day off. Now it's not that time.
He's still in his mid-20s. He's just fine.
You know who else is fine in handling this? Henry Blanco. He's signed to be the backup catcher.
And that's what he's been his whole career.
He understands his role. He understands there will come a time when he catches 2 games in a 3-game series at some point.
And his role is to make Miguel Montero better. Good fastball. Strike one.
2-1 to Johnny Gomes. Miggy talks a lot. There's no doubt. He loves to share his feelings, his thoughts, his wisdoms. But when you're hitting like that, he really loves to talk. Snuck that one right by him.
Back-to-back fastballs right on the outside corner. Johnny Gomes with his body language at least, letting Ted Barrett know that he didn't like the call, but you don't want to push Big Ted Barrett too much.
That changeup dives low. Blanco, his battery mate, 39 years old, out of Caracas in Venezuela, signed as a third baseman with the Dodgers in the minor leagues, and he signed as a professional 22 years ago. Well, that was a big swing by Johnny Gomes.
It was. These guys don't get cheated.
You know who would fit in well on that roster?
Who's that?
Josh Weitzel. Do you remember him?
We brought him up a couple of times. He's now cranking on the fan for the Yakult Swallows over in Japan. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There he is.
Boy, is he a friend of the show with that big, mighty rip.
Now we wish him well over there. Looks like he knocked that one a long ways. He didn't really have that two-strike approach.
No. But that's all right. Good man. Outside low, ball 4. Well, that was a fancy walk there by Gomes.
Didn't like that, did you?
No, I really didn't.
It's been a frustrating night for a lot of these Reds. And now Aaron Heilman doesn't want it to become a frustrating night for him.
No.
Let's take a look at what. And he didn't like that, huh? That little bat flip?
No, not so much.
Johnny's a good guy. You'd like
Great
Johnny.
guy.
You'd like Johnny.
Oh, I do like him.
He's a good teammate.
I know all the good things.
Good to see. Good old number 5 back here following the squad. The great Johnny Bench, Hall of Famer.
That pitch is low.
Oh, man, Charlie Hustle's here too.
Chris Heisey played in 5 games this year. A couple of years ago, played very well in the Arizona Fall League as he fouls that one back. And he's quite a story. This is
I like this kid a lot.
Middle round pick out of a small college in Pennsylvania, Messiah College in Pennsylvania. Self-made player. Truly a self-made player. A Division III school.
This kid can play.
Hit on a line out to center field. Young is there. And you are correct, sir. He can play. He has erased that time. But a great story. One out to a Diamondbacks victory.
All right, time for this sellout crowd to get on their feet and bring this one on home. All right, there you go. Come on, folks.
Pitch is high. 1-0 the count to Paul Janich.
There you go. Come on, folks. Folks.
The 1-0. Outside, 2-0 the count. They're up now.
There they go. I like it.
2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Reds. 13 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. Lined into the right center field gap. Parr with a slide. The Diamondbacks win their home opener. First win at home against the Reds since 2008. runs allowed this year by the Reds, matching their fewest runs scored, and this club is climbing to that small peak that is known as Mount 500 that you like to talk about.
I do.
And that ends the ball game.
Now just a solid all-around game by every single person who got on the diamond tonight. The better team tonight was certainly the Arizona Diamondbacks, but enjoy this while you can, because these Reds are going to be right back after you tomorrow.
13-2 the final score. Let's put it in the hands of the post-game show. There's a lot to talk about, a hero to talk with on the diamond. The home opener goes to the victors. A brief time they can enjoy the spoils. Let's get to the post-game show now.